Okay, so today we're going to review for your chapter 3 test. Okay, so in reviewing for your test, it also reviews you for your quiz. Remember, your quiz just doesn't have that review, the cumulative review on it. So on your test, you will see 5 cumulative questions, and now we have 2 chapters in our rearview mirror, right? Chapters 1 and 2. So your review section on the chapter 3 test will have equations, but it will also have transformations on there where you translate an ordered pair, you'll rotate an ordered pair. For the rotation, I will give you the key still, and then dilation and reflection. All of that will be on your test, okay? So just to start, we're going to go back through chapter 3, and I've designed these questions on the PowerPoint to reflect what you would see on your quiz and test, basically in the formatting, okay? So for angle relationships, I want you to name me one pair of corresponding angles. There are 4 pairs total. Just give me one. One pair of vertical angles. Give me one. There are 4. Now, supplementary also means adjacent, okay? So adjacent is more the word that we used. Adjacent, supplementary, same thing. So give me one pair. There are 8 to choose from. Give me one pair of alternate exterior angles. There are only 2 pairs of these. And alternate interior, there's only 2 pairs of those. Okay, so go ahead. You don't have to write the question. We don't have enough time. All I need you to do is write the actual angles for each one. So what I've seen is some people just do ... like 5 dots, and then they'll just write the angles. Okay, the 2 angles. I do want you to use the angle symbol though. So let's skip down to our alternate interior and exterior just real quick. I just want to remind you guys, whether it's interior or exterior, is compared to the parallel lines. Okay, so you see how you have these parallel lines here. All right, so what your rule says is if they are inside the parallel lines, they are interior. If they're on the outside, like out here, they're exterior. And alternate refers to the transversal. So you see how the transversal cuts through here, okay? So it has to be on the opposite side of the transversal. All right, we'll come back to that. Can anybody give me one pair of corresponding angles? Remember, there were 4 to choose from. Mason?
1 and 5.
Okay, he said 1 and 5. Do you see how they're both in the top part of the intersecting points? Okay, 1 and 5 are both on in the top. So 1 and 5 is 1. What's another one? I'll take one more. Cam?
4 and 8.
4 and 8. Do you see how 4 is on the right side and so is 8 of the intersecting point? Okay, so 4 and 8 would be another one. What's one pair of vertical angles, Connor?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. He picked 1 and 2. They're across from each other. What's one more pair? Can somebody give me one more pair? Someone different? Micah?
3 and 4.
He said 3 and 4. Very good. And just class everyone together. What's my other 2? 5 and 6. 7 and 8. Very good. Those are my vertical, and I know those measures are equal. All right, so we'll just say 1 and 2. And I did tell you I prefer the angle sign, so I probably should be leading by example and put those angle signs. What about adjacent? What about adjacent? Can someone give me an adjacent pair? An adjacent pair, someone different maybe? Allie?
Angle 1 and angle 4.
Yes, very good. She said 1 and 4. You see how they're side by side. Angle 1 and angle 4. Very good. What's another pair of adjacent? I actually have 8 to choose from here. 8 pair. Nick?
You said adjacent?
Yes.
Ooh, I know.
So we already said 1 and 4. Yes, very good. He said 3 and 2. I could also say 1 and 3, and I could also say 2 and 4. All right, 5 and 8 on the bottom, and I could just keep going side by side. Give me one pair. There's only 2. One pair of alternate exterior angles. I'm trying to get to everybody, so if you haven't volunteered yet and you think you know, let me know. Avery, which one did you pick?
1 and 6.
She picked 1 and 6. So you see how 1 is on the outside of the parallel lines, And 6 is on the opposite side of my transversal, that line that cuts through. So those are alternate exterior. Angle 1 and angle 6. What's my other pair? What's my second pair? Just tell me.
3 and 8.
3 and 8. Very good. What about alternate interior? Josh, did you get one of those?
I put 2 and 7.
Not 2 and 7 would be called same side because they're on the same side of the transversal. So instead of 2 and 7, what do you think it would be, Josh?
2 and 5.
Very good. 2 and 5. 2 and 5. Sorry about my voice. I kind of woke up like this. Anybody ever just wake up and you just can't?
Wake up with a sore throat.
Yeah, I just can't clear your throat. Okay, so sorry, it's going to be maybe a little more painful to watch my review video this weekend. Okay, so now those are the relationships. Now I want you to tell me these angle measurements, given that this one over here, which I guess technically is angle 3, is 84 degrees. So now I want you to tell me what 2, 4, 6, and 7 are, and you need to tell me why. Now, your why might be different than the person next to you. It doesn't mean that you're wrong, because all of the relationships end up working together. Okay, so just make sure that your why relates to a measurement that you already know, if that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and try to solve these. Angle 2. Angle 2. Do we have angle 2 yet? I'll go slow because I know y'all are still maybe finishing up. Anybody have the measurement? Look here. The measurement for angle 2. All right. Might be real obvious. Mr. Nick?
Can I give you all of them?
No, you can only give me 2.
84.
84 and vertical. Perfect. So it's going to be like 2 points per blank on your quiz. 84 and vertical. So now let's go over here to angle 4. Angle 4. Anybody think they might know angle 4?
I do.
Angle 4, Micah?
96.
Ooh, 96. Where did 96 come from?
Because you have to subtract it from 180.
Yes, so what kind of angle would that make it? Hey, guys, what's the relationship? Adjacent to which one? Adjacent to angle 2, okay? You got to tell me which one it's adjacent to, okay? All right, so if all you say is adjacent, that would be like a -1. All right, what about angle 6? Now I'm going down to the other side. What about angle 6? Anybody different? Maybe have angle 6? Anybody different? What would be angle 6? What you think? What you think? Angle 6. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so Connor, angle 6 is what?
84.
Very good. And why?
Because it's corresponding
To which one?
to.
Very good. It's corresponding to 2. Now, here's the deal, guys. Okay. Oh, what? Oh my goodness. Nick, what did you just say? Can you say that?
It's alternate exterior.
Yes. Did anybody else catch that? I actually wasn't looking there. Do y'all see how 6 is alternate exterior to 84?
Oh, yeah.
Do y'all see that? So he is correct. So that would also make it 84. What about angle 7?
Oh, I want to do this.
What about angle 7? So angle 7, I could kind of say something similar. Mason?
Is it, never mind.
All right. Nick?
84.
It is 84.
I knew.
Look at you. You're all about those alternates today. Yes, very good. Very good. Okay, it's alternate interior. Now, if you say that, you just have to say which one. Alternate interior to which one? To which one, Nick? Alternate.
It's alternate interior to two.
Yes, to angle 2. Very good. Now, I said corresponding with 84, and a lot of people said vertical to 6. Anybody say vertical to 6? Yeah. Listen, all of those answers are correct. Okay? It doesn't have to be that exact reason. All right, so now let's go to triangles. You will have this on your quiz and test to solve. Now listen, I'm going to kind of plug in this word, each. Find each interior angle measure of a triangle. All right, so we have to solve. We have to solve first, which means we need a sum. Do we have a sum? Do we have a sum? 180. So set up your equation, okay, and solve it. But remember, that's not your answer. All right, go ahead and do this. Okay, so let's go 63 plus x plus 30 plus x. Okay, and what does it all equal? 180. Okay, is it messing y'all up that there's like a lot of terms up here? Okay, remember it's your like terms. So what's x plus x? 2x. And then what's 63 plus 30? 93 equals 180. Subtract 93 from both sides. And what do you get? 2x equals 87. Divide both sides by 2 now. And x equals 43 and a half. Okay? But we just talked about the fact that this is not my answer. Now, what do I do with this value? What do I need to do with it? Allie? Yes, very good. I come back here. Sure, it's this one. So I know, based on that information, it's 63 degrees and 43 and a half degrees. But what do I have to do to this top one? Add 30. What do you get? 73 and a half. Very good. Okay. You guys gonna get that right on Monday and Wednesday? Okay. Finding each. Guys, now on this one, I'm not looking for an equation. I'm not even looking for any work, because if you know what to do, and you are allowed to, use your calculators if you need a little bit of reinforcement, but hopefully you know what to do here to find an exterior angle. We have rules, and then once we find our exterior angle, we could find the interior angle. So this is one that I will not require an equation for. You could just write the answers. Does anybody remember how to find an exterior angle? Does anybody remember my rule? What I do? Yes. Okay, to find the exterior, I add the two interior angles not connected. But wait, I don't know that bottom left one.
That means 90.
That means 90, okay? So the bottom left one means 90, so that means y is 90. I'm sorry, y is 140. Okay, and then if y is 140, what's x going to be? 40. It's going to be 40 because those are adjacent. All right. Now, you could have solved for x first just by making it all equal to 180, and then subtract from 180 again to find y. All right, so that's triangle. Now let's do the polygon, okay? So we've got to speed it up a little bit because we have polygon, and then we have, we got a couple more. All right, let's find this polygon. Now, is your sum going to be 180?
Oh, boo.
No, your sum's not going to be 180 because it's not a triangle anymore. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the sum is, so you are going to need to remember how to find the sum. Okay? Either you could have it memorized. If you count the sides and you know it, just write it down. If you don't, you have to use a formula. Okay, how many sides does this figure have?
7.
7. Did anybody remember the sum?
793.
900 is the sum. Now, if you didn't remember that, you could use your formula 7 minus 2 times 180 to get 900. When you add all the interior angles together, you get 792. Subtract it from 900. X equals 108. Now, I know I had to kind of rush through that one a little more. Does anybody have any questions on this? Anybody have any questions? I'm going to try to get through one more before the end of class. I'll keep the recording going, though, so then the whole thing will be on the YouTube video. Okay. Okay. Now, look here, guys. Here's my key word, each. Okay, find each angle measure. This is similar to that Saturn cloud from the section, okay? So if I need to find each, it's important to know that it's a regular polygon, which means all the angles will be the same measurement. Okay? Does anybody remember from yesterday what the sum of an octagon was? Josh?
1080.
Yes, very good. Now, if you did not remember 1080, what could you do? Formula. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 times 180 is 1080. No big deal. But that's the sum. What would I divide it by to find 1? I would divide it by the number of sides, 8. Y'all help me out. What's 135? Very good. Okay, and I would do the exact same thing for a hexagon. What's the sum of the angle measures of a hexagon?
5.
Anybody remember that one? That one was the Saturn cloud.
6.
No, the whole sum. It is 6-sided. Yes, 720. Okay, 6 sides, 6 minus 2 times 180. And I divide by how many? 6. And it's 120. Okay, now the only one we didn't get to, guys, listen, there's a 10-minute break after this class, so we don't have to be in a rush, and I don't have a third hour. Okay, do y'all want to do this one real quick? We have a 10-minute break. Okay, so watch this one on the YouTube video. Okay, this is from last night's homework. If it's similar, I am going to keep the recording going after I dismiss you guys, so if you want to hang out and watch it, you can. All right, please just erase your desk. Okay, and like I said, this is going to be on your YouTube video also. Okay, so we'll pause real quick and then we'll come back. Okay, so for similar triangles, we are testing to see if there are 2 angles in the triangle that are the same measurement. All right, so by looking at these 2 triangles, do you see an angle in each triangle that's the exact same measurement? All right, did you see 60? So that's great, that's one pair. But then when I try to look for the second pair, 58 and 62 don't match up. But that doesn't mean that they're not similar, because what if y was 58? Or what if x was 62? The only way to know is to solve for one of them, and it doesn't matter which one you solve for. So let's go with the first one, x plus 60 plus 58 equals 180. All right, and then 60 and 58 is 118 equals 180, and x equals, subtract 118 from both sides, and x equals 62. X equals 62. So now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to see, since I said 62, see if this now gives me another pair. So I have 62 in one triangle. Do I have 62 in the other triangle? My answer is yes. And my rule says if I have 2 angles that are the same measurement, meaning I have a 62 and 60 and a 62 and 60, when I add them together and subtract from 180, my third angle is going to be the same measure. So what happens is my answer is yes, because I do have 2 pairs. All right, so this makes it, basically what I boxed in is the acceptable answer, but the y is that there's 2 pairs of congruent angles. All right, so if you could say something like this and go the extra step, this could be like a bonus 1 point, like a +1 on your quiz or your test, to just go that step further and say, yeah, it is yes, but then to identify it's because you found 2 pairs of angles that were the same measurement. Okay, now let's go to the review of chapters 1 and 2. And remember, these questions are very specific to the questions you will see on your upcoming test. All right, so I give you an ordered pair, -5, 3, and I say to translate that ordered pair 4 units left and 2 units up. Remember, to go left means this is going to affect the x value, which means I must do something to my x value. And if I'm going left, that means to subtract. So this is going to mean to subtract 4 from my x value. And to go 2 units up tells me my y value, and because it's up, that means I'm going to add 2. Okay, so negative 5 minus 4 would give me negative 9, and 3 plus 2 would give me 5. So negative 9, 5 would be my new ordered pair. All right, now we need to rotate the ordered pair about the origin. I will give you the code. So this one is xy and negative x, negative y. All right, and remember, when we see the negative, that means that whatever the sign of x was in the original ordered pair, the negative means it will now be the opposite sign. So now this is going to be a positive 4, positive 4. All right, just so knowing how our values are going to change in sign and possibly in order, the code will tell us. All right, so now let's come over here and solve the equation. I need to distribute negative 2x, and negative 2 times 4 is negative 8, equals 16. And now I can solve a 2-step equation. Add 8 to both sides. Negative 2x equals 24. Divide both sides by negative 2. And x equals negative 12. All right, and remember guys, you can pause this video at any time so you can work the problems ahead of me. All right, so now let's look at this next slide. So now would be a good time to pause and work these problems on your own. Okay, now on this first equation, I must combine like terms. Negative 3x plus 6x. Okay, negative 3 plus 6 is a positive 3x, plus 12 equals 27. Now I would subtract 12 from both sides, and 3x equals 15. Divide by 3, and x equals 5. And then on our last question, and this has been on, I think, every test up to this point, is the idea of solving for y. Now, what's a little different about this equation is that my y is over here. That still doesn't change how I'm going to solve it. And what I would suggest, and we've done this with a few problems before, is you can actually rewrite it. Take your 6 plus 2y and make it equal to 2x, because we want to see that y come first. That makes a little more sense to us. So what would be the first thing you would do over here to get y by itself? If you said to subtract 6, you're exactly right. You need to subtract 6 from both sides. And now 2y equals, and remember, you cannot combine like terms here. So you just bring it down. Your x comes first, and then your number. Now one more step to solve. Divide everything by 2. And y equals x minus 3. Now if you reduce this to say 1x, that would be fine also. All right, and that would be my answer. And if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for your Chapter 3 quiz and your Chapter 3 test.